Welcome to Homestead Mamas, the podcast where dirt roads meets determination, and everyday women are building lives rooted in faith, family, and freedom. Whether you're knee-deep in a garden, chasing chickens, or dreaming of wide open spaces, this is your place to find encouragement, laughter, and real stories for homesteading mamas just like you. And now let's meet your hosts, Britten Allen, Annabelle Taylor, and Haley Gear, 3 homestead mamas who are living it, learning it, and laughing through it. So grab a cup of coffee, kick off your boots, and let's grow together. Hey, so this is Britten. I wanted to come on here before we start the episode and share with you how this podcast kind of got started. 3 years ago, or almost 3 years ago, I was inspired to start the podcast, but I never did by myself because it seemed like an overwhelming task at the time. But now, more recently, where my life has settled down after building our home, and I have become really good friends with Haley and have always been good friends with Annabelle, it just made a whole lot of sense to join them on this podcast journey instead of trying to tackle it by myself. And I think that with all 3 of us, we will have so much more insight and inspiration spread throughout. So I really hope that you guys enjoy all the content we will create now and in the future. Thanks.
Hi guys,
Hi.
Welcome back. It's been a minute, but we're super excited to have you guys back.
Yes, welcome.
So, today I will be interviewing Britten today. So I'm super excited to ask her these questions because even though we've been best friends for so long, these questions that I have, I've never heard her answers of it before. So
Should I be nervous?
No. And I'm really excited to ask these questions.
All
So
right.
let's just dive in. So,
Okay.
Britten, who or what inspired you to homestead?
That's a great question. So I guess it kind of started with COVID, as I feel like most people kind of went back and forth with the lack of stability with the food sources once the world shuts down. And while we weren't heavily impacted in our small town, watching family members heavily impacted where they had nothing in their grocery stores, we always had something on the shelf of our Walmart. Thank goodness. And like our neighbors, a lot of them are great gardeners, so we got a lot of like handouts, especially we have an older couple of the hill who would constantly come down and give us stuff. But so I don't know if it was a particular person, but an event that got me more interested into how to can and starting sourdough and watching you. I guess what you would be my influence is you started to do it at the same time that I started to want to do it. So I think it kind of happened that way.
In the world, I can see you listening for that. Absolutely. Was there a defining moment when you knew this was the life you wanted?
I still question if this is the life that I want.
Only because it gets hard sometimes, right?
Yes, only because it gets like when an animal passes away, that's a really hard one. And unfortunately, you never get used to it. It just gets easier to deal with because you've done it before, and now you understand how to remove the animal or
with that experience.
Yes, but it doesn't remove the heartache or the hardship because you're like, I raised this animal from, most of them are babies when you bring them in, and then once they pass away, you're like, well, what do I do now? Because all my hard work just failed.
And grief is grief.
Grief is hard, yeah. It never gets any easier.
No, just like you said, easier to cope because you learned how to know yourself and cope with each situation.
Yeah. So I don't think there was a particular moment that was like, this is it. But it kind of was like a nudge here, a push there from an outside source, and we both know who that is. But I believe that you are where you need to be at the exact time you need to be. So when we bought our property, my husband and I were fighting like crazy to get it. And we were about to give up and move to a different town multiple times before everything finally worked. But in every step of the way, there was no way out. We could not leave this property. We could not step away. There was no way out. We had to keep going forward. And that was kind of like, as much as I wanted to bail,
right,
we were not allowed to bail because this is where we needed to be.
My God, no.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes, he's like, no. You get to stay right where you are. You learn some lessons. I will show you what we're doing next.
I'm glad you guys stayed.
Yeah, me too. Because I don't know. Now we've made so many more friends and
yeah, we built basically
Yeah.
our own community. At this
Yes,
point.
yep.
So it's been also awesome to see that grow.
Yes.
What was the hardest thing about building your home yourself that you wish more people knew about?
Lack of support. As much as people want to be there for you, it's not going to happen like you would like it to. You would love the extra help. You need the extra help. But other people have their own lives and they have to deal with their own crises and issues. So while they might be able to support you one weekend, you might not see them for another 6 months. So we had a lot of help in the beginning, and I feel like we were slowly wearing people out on help because it was just us, right? There's no contractors.
Right. And it is a long process.
It is, yeah. It took us just under a year, which is really fast for most self-builds. But like I said, we wore our family members out and nobody wanted to come and help. We appreciated every hour or minute we got, so I can't complain because obviously me and Jackson learned a lot about self-sufficiency from the build.
Just be ready to do it yourself.
Yes. If you can't wait on other people to do it for you, you just need to pull up your big girl panties and go do it. Get your seriously, you are the only person who is stopping yourself.
That's so deep. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Mindset is everything when it comes to that too. What's been your biggest challenge and how did it shape you?
Pertaining to work.
Homesteading, just being in this lifestyle.
Finding the time to learn new skills. That's been one of the hardest things.
What about it makes it?
Obviously, being a mom, they take 90% of your time. And then trying to maintain a relationship with your husband and your family, you have to prioritize learning the new skills. And it can be hard to sit down and read your book or listen to a video because your kids are like, no, I want to listen to a song, Wheels on the Bus, please, Mom. And so it's hard to prioritize the learning aspect of it. I mean, you can go to somebody's house. I don't have a lot of family members who do it. My grandma, she did used to do it, but now she's not in a position where she's able to teach me. Right. All of my resources have been like YouTube and books, and I'm super grateful for that. But at some point, we could lose the YouTube side of it.
Right.
And I need to be able to resource books or people more.
Yeah, and I think YouTube may or may not go out, but we want to be prepared for anything.
Yes, yeah.
And we're not predicting anything.
No.
But we're just saying if something were to happen, would I have that resource on hand physically, so I don't have to resource to the internet or technology? What's one lesson from homesteading you think everyone should learn?
It is okay to fail. You're going to fail, and you're going to fail a lot. And it's going to suck.
And you learn a lot by yourself through that process, don't you think?
Yes, oh yes. How you handle failure, it tells you exactly who you are. Because if you're mad and you're throwing things and you're refusing to learn from the failure, you're not going to get very far. But if you can own up, cry about it a little bit, dust yourself off, try again. You got to get up and do it again.
It's just the try again.
Try again, yeah. If you fail the first time, it's good. It's okay.
I think it's a learning process. You failed and you're done.
Yeah, and it's okay to have those moments of just utter frustration where you need to throw something, because depending on the project, we've all been there. But yeah, you can't dwell on your failures. And if you do fail, own up to it.
Just own it.
Own it.
Just go. Do you feel more free or tied down by this lifestyle?
That's a really tricky one, because in the animal aspect, you can't just leave.
Right.
When you have a homestead, you are more rooted to where you are, so leaving is harder.
So that community and people.
Yes, so this is where your community comes into play, where you can reach out to somebody and they're like, oh my gosh, girl, I got you, go have a good time. But you're not always going to have somebody who's available. So you have to be prepared to either not go on a trip because of it, or maybe hand out to a new person who's never done it to you before, which is really nerve-wracking.
It is, because
they're learning too, and they might mess up. Unfortunately, I am somebody who will come in hot and heavy when I feel like my animals are in danger. She's been the brunt of this, and I'm sorry for that.
No, it's okay. You're protective of your life. This is your lifestyle and your homestead and your heart and your family.
Yeah.
I can see how that can be a hard thing to just let full trust in somebody.
So
when you create a homestead, it's not just a life that you're creating. Your family, you're creating this whole environment for yourself to be, your husband and your kids. So you gotta protect it because you built it from the ground up.
So yes, it's hard. It's sometimes hard. It's kind of freeing in the aspect of you can be by yourself and handle more by yourself, but you're also held back in other ways where you're not as free.
Right. But like freedom to be able to be flexible in your own schedule.
Yes, like
it's very entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so like homeschooling is very freeing because I can take my kids with me wherever. They're not in a school. I don't have to pick them up at this time. We don't have to do schoolwork right now. We can bring it with us and do it on the road.
That's what freedom of time comes from, and most people don't understand that concept either. But once you're an entrepreneur and understand that, it makes more sense with that phrase. What's the first thing you do in the morning that sets the tone for your day? It can vary, but I want to hear yours. What you do.
First thing I do in the morning that sets my tone is if I wake up early.
That one's
if I sleep in, it sets me back, and I feel like I'm moving like a slug. But if I can get out of bed when my alarm goes off at 6:30, grumpy or not, I am able to keep up a lot better. Problem is though, the earlier I wake up, the more I'm worn out, like at like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And I feel like some days you need a nap, and some days you're fine.
Everyone needs a nap, even mom. No, that's super important. That's one thing I have learned, and it's been helpful. So I can see that. I can set your tone for the day. What daily habit or ritual keeps you grounded? It's one thing that helps you just keep on going and just keep on track and focused.
I don't know how to answer that one. What would I do or ritual that keeps me going? So if I'm having a bad day, I guess I'm taking this maybe in a different direction than what you anticipated. If we're having a hard time, like with the kids, typically what it comes down to, or if I'm just in a bad mood, we go outside. We play.
Get that sunshine.
Yeah.
Get outside, the fresh air.
We like to hop on the bikes and go for a walk, and that helps me blow off some steam. So I'm not as frustrated. I recently got a treadmill, and that's been a game changer.
Do you feel like you do that daily too?
Almost daily, yeah.
So winter is going to be hard.
But the treadmill for me, and then the kids really enjoy it. Like, used to most like run on it.
It's the exercise, isn't it? Exercise that you're.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. Is it helps
not
me.
Not just outdoors, but the exercise.
Yeah.
When do you feel most peace on your home?
Most peace is when everybody's in bed and it's quiet. I love when I can go down by myself and feed the animals by myself. And I can just sit down, and on my milk stand is where I feel like that's where I go to, because that's like the only place I can sit down in our lower field. I go sit on my milk stand, and sometimes I'll just sit there with nothing playing, because I love podcasts and audiobooks. I listen to them a lot. But I'll just play nothing and just sit and listen. And I don't do it a ton. I feel like I should do it more, because the peace and quiet is where I hear God.
Right. And I feel like we don't allow ourselves in society to let ourselves just be quiet and be. And a lot of people actually have a lot of anxiety because they don't allow themselves to be in peace. Yeah, I can see that being your peaceful spot. But it's not that you don't love your kids or the things that you're doing. But I think maybe are you reflecting during the day of going, that was a good day. We did good stuff today. And you're also reflecting. Too.
Yes, yeah. And sometimes it's good. Like as a mom, you have a million things going through your head. It's good to just not think about anything. And I know that's really, really hard, but it's something I'm trying to practice to just, it's okay to do nothing.
Some people call it meditation. No, that's so good. So good.
These are really good questions.
What part of homesteading makes you feel most alive? So we just talked about the peace, but what now makes you most feel alive?
When we accomplish a huge project.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's nothing is sweeter than accomplishing a task that maybe you've been putting off or like been waiting for funds for it, because things are expensive. And
once you get done, you stand there, you hands over your head.
Yes,
you just stand there, like, dang, I did that right there.
Like our house is obviously the biggest.
Own it.
Yeah, but for a long time I felt regret for feeling like that I enjoyed it, because I let other people and what they didn't have dictate how I felt about my home. So now I appreciate it and love it and am enjoying it. But for almost a year, I didn't want people to come over.
Just because you felt like it was a selfish thing to do?
Yeah, that I had something that they didn't, and I didn't want to seem like I was just like rubbing it in their faces. I know it sounds a little
bit... That's a them problem.
I understand.
No, the feelings are there.
Yeah, it was really hard for me to kind of look past it.
It's hard. But you should be very proud of it.
I am now.
Good. That I can see why that can be hard feeling and everything too. We don't want to ever collect value to somebody.
No. Yeah. I have a work truck too. And you know what it is. I hate driving it. I love the truck. Okay, don't get me wrong. I love it. It drives beautifully. It's easy to manipulate.
I feel like
it's
bad
cool,
name mama.
But it was another thing that I would prefer to drive my little beater car around to like play myself down.
Well, you don't need to do that because the people that know you know your character and know your hard work. Don't worry about it. But I can see those feelings there. Okay, now we're moving on to motherhood on the homestead. What has been the hardest part of motherhood on the homestead?
Involving my kids in all of the activities.
Because you're just like, I want to do it myself.
Yes, you're going to get it done a lot faster by yourself. But your kids want to be involved, and it's hard to give them a task that they can do safely because maybe you're working with a nail gun or a hammer or barbed wire.
Right.
And they don't understand that barbed wire reel could unreel and cut them up.
It's also an opportunity to teach the kids like how serious to take tools and the importance of it, and just learning the safety while being present too.
So it's hard to like slow down and teach them to be safe and to calm down because right now we're not playing, we're working.
But in other aspects, like with the animals and stuff,
it's very different.
You just want to get it done.
Yeah.
But you know, like the whole purpose of homesteading and
is for them to learn. Yeah.
And the hard work.
So yeah. Well, my goats are a lot different than like your cow. So I can trust my kids to go in my goat's pen and not be in any danger, really.
Right.
Because, a cow is a very different from a 70-pound goat. Yeah. Because even if they got headbutted, like it wouldn't be the end of the world.
That's why training in any animal that you have is very important, but being mindful of the size of the animal and their behavior is very important.
And so my kids are aware that when they go in the pens, they don't get to run around. But like if we're going in there, it's to clean the pens or it's to collect an animal. And most of the time, my girls are all grain trained, so they will come to the door and come out peacefully by themselves and hop in the stand. So that's been a very nice thing to do with my animals. So if I need them to be examined by the veterinarian or to trim their feet or milk them, they will willingly hop in the grain milk stand and be processed that way.
Just know your animal, whether they're grain-led, halter-led, whatever.
None of my animals are halter-led. That would be a mess.
Working on it. Working on the halter-led, but yeah.
You got it.
She loves her corn too.
Good. Well, at least she likes it, so she's willing to do things for it.
But still, like, okay. How do you balance teaching your kids and running the homestead? So I guess we talked about it a little bit, but do you elaborate more on that?
I don't know. I feel like there is a balance, but
more like a rhythm.
Yeah, more like a rhythm. Yep, where your kids have to be involved in most everything you do for it to work, because you can't always send your kids away because then you're separating the kids and the homestead. But the whole purpose is to involve the kids in starting the homestead.
Giving them like the responsibilities while you have responsibilities, because there's no way you can get it done by yourself.
Yeah, there's no way. And like, we don't have set chores, but the kids love to collect the eggs. But, and I'm not going to go make them do it, but if I hand them an egg carton, they know what to do and they're going to go do it.
So let them.
Yeah. Right? And like my oldest son, he waters the animals most mornings and he thinks it's fun. Yeah, he loves it. He also likes to spray the dog, and the dog doesn't mind.
He loves it.
And he's also starting to like feed hay to the animals, and he knows how much that everybody gets, and he understands that if our goats run out of hay, they could get an upset tummy, and so he's already picking up on everything, and I haven't had to like sit down and teach him any of it.
I love that he just picking up the importance of the responsibilities and the specifics of that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, we've had conversations. I don't want to stop and feed the animals, right? Well, unfortunately, this is our job. We were given these animals to tend to. That is our job now. And we can't turn around and say no.
Just because we don't want to.
Yes. Because we don't want to.
What brings you the most joy about being a homestead mama?
I think it's the idea of being able to pass down the self-sufficiency aspect to my kids.
That's good.
Yeah,
So just the thought of that brings joy.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of joy in being a mom who homesteads, but
That's what brings you most joy.
the most joy is if something were to happen, my kids would be okay and able to survive.
And us moms, like, we always think about, like, the worst case scenario. So, like, over here, we're, like, kind of extreme because we're
Yes.
homestead
Yes.
and side of things, but you just gotta be prepared for it.
Yeah, because I mean, you never know. Did you ever see the movie Homestead?
No, I haven't.
It's really good. It is like a worst case scenario movie. If you
Not
guys,
sponsored.
no, it's not
but-
sponsored, but it's by Angel. If you're really
You
into
guys
like,
should watch it.
yeah, it was really good. Me and
She
my
says
husband.
it's good.
I'm fairly picky. It is Christian based, so there is a lot of faith in God, but there's also a lot of reality that could come of the catastrophe. So what happens is an atomic bomb was dropped on California, and it was the story of how these families were getting out or not getting out. And there was a homestead that they all fled to, and it was really well done because they were showing the problems within the homestead itself, and people wanting to take power, and
No one knows
there was a
the
balance,
background noise of things, though.
Yeah, so it was a lot of chaos, but they showed it really well, and it was a really beautiful movie. I forgot what the question was. But
We just went on the tiny rant.
little around there.
What brings us joy about being a homestead mom and just having that joy of knowing that your kids are going to be in a good place.
Yes, they're going to be all right.
How has this journey changed your identity as a woman and mother?
I think as a woman, I am more feminine now than I was.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's stability. That's the other part of the question.
How has this journey changed your identity as a woman and mother? So we just talked about women.
I think homesteading has created me as a person that I never thought I could be. And that entail has given my kids a mother that I never thought I could be. I don't know. Before I had kids, I wouldn't have considered myself a great person. And that's hard to like look back on. And even now, I feel like I could be better, but I'm a better person now than I was 8 years ago when we first, I guess it's been almost 10 years since we moved to the small town.
You learn a lot about yourself through those hard things and projects and everything that you do, right? Mm-hmm. And you're learning to grow. So
having children and having the homestead has made me want to be a better person, to be able to provide better for my community. If something were to happen, I could step in and be like, this family wasn't prepared. I have food for you. I can offer them that. And being an outside perspective and watching you grow has been a very beautiful thing. And it's been really cool to just see you just flourish into this amazing person that you've become too. And like, you've always been an amazing person, but I'm gonna cry. You've always been an amazing person. It's just like we're flourishing more into these, into more of ourselves and being more confident in ourselves. Yeah. How do you find moments of rest time for yourself or time for yourself? Or I guess you already talked about that a little bit. You talked about how at the milk stand you do take time for yourself, but what other things that you do to take rest and time for yourself? Honestly, I don't get a whole lot of rest and time to myself. That's unfortunately is my phase of life at the moment. That's just being a mom. Yes, I was like, as they get older, I'll have a little bit more me time, I think, because they'll be more independent. But right now, where they're both young kids, and then my husband is the full-time provider, so if he takes them, it's a once in a while thing. But just maximizing that time. Yeah, yes, you got to be grateful for the small me moments. That's for sure. But I think like your morning times too. Yeah, you're taking time for yourself, right? My daughter's up really early, so honestly, maybe the 5 minutes you my coffee when I sit down at the kitchen table. Better than no time. I do try to find some time in the evening. Like me and my husband will come home. We'll usually take a shower and go sit down on the couch and watch TV and just like snuggle. Because
that sounds like a good.
I like to incorporate my Bible study into that time. So I'm still with my husband and he's still doing something he wants to do, but I will often read a few verses in there.
So funny. That's awesome. I love that you guys spend time with each other. At nighttime, it's like, hey, now we're focused on us for what we can at the time. How do you nurture both your home and your own spirit at the same time?
By filling the home with things that I love and enjoy and getting rid of the things that bother me. And it could be a gift from somebody. It could be a book that maybe has something in it that I didn't want in the home or taught to my children. Or a TV show that were like, this was supposed to be good and it just was not.
Or you thought was good, and then when you became a mother, you just
like I don't know if I can show that to my kids again. Because I watched a few movies where I'm like, oof, that was not good. I don't want my kids exposed to that.
Even if it's a classic.
Even if it's a classic.
Or society has it a certain way, you just like, no, I'm sorry, can't.
Yes.
Nope.
So I feel like going through your home regularly and removing those things makes it more peaceful.
You just want to have a better environment.
Yes.
Because your kids are learning the environment every single day. And then we're seeing all this stuff all the time.
Yep.
We don't send our kids off and we don't have a hiding closet of stuff. You want to be transparent to our kids and consistent with them so that they can turn to us.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you do that. And I admire you for doing that. And man, it's not an easy thing to do. But it's worth it when you put in the time.
Yes.
What's one childhood memory that connects you to the way you live now?
I'm going to start with this. I wish I was better at gardening because some of my fondest memories were with my grandfathers in their gardens. I'm going to cry. I was young when I was separated from one of my favorite grandfathers. And then in the last couple of years, my mom's father passed away. And with both of them, it was a common thing to just go and be in the garden. And I wish I had learned more.
It's a joyful time in the garden. No, we're just have a sob fest at this point. See, I had some deep questions, so I didn't think it's going to get this deep. Oh gosh. But listen, your garden's going to be this beautiful thing. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice before starting this life, what would it be?
Don't be so dang stubborn. Listen, if somebody's offering you a piece of advice, it's usually because they see that you're struggling and they want you to learn.
They love you.
They love you. And I love to turn around and be like, no, I got it. I can figure it out myself. And I've only really kind of started to figure this lesson out within the last 2 years.
Yeah. Stop being stubborn. But I feel like a lot of people have a problem with that.
Yes.
And it's not just, I'm not calling everyone out for it. It's a little bit of pride in ourselves.
Yeah, and I would call it arrogance.
Yeah, it was just being close to being open to growth, right?
Because you can take somebody's opinion or like listen and be like, you know what, that was very interesting, but it's not something I'm going to take.
But at least you've
listened and you heard their side. You don't have to take it all. Because especially if somebody's being rude, right?
Right.
There's good and nice ways to deliver potentially negative comments.
What advice would you give another mama who wants to start homesteading? Because I know there's a lot of people out there that want to homestead, and there's a lot of people that I know that either told you or told me that, oh my gosh, you're living the life. You're living my dream.
My dream. I dislike that very much. I hate when people walk up to me and say, you are living my dream life. And my response to it is, why the heck are you not living your life the way you want to be living it then?
What is stopping you?
What's stopping you? I'm not living your life. I'm living mine. You want what I have? Go get it.
I'm glad you're being admired by
Yes, but it's really frustrating.
It's like,
because I've worked hard for what I have, and it's hard when people walk up to you and they're like, you have what I want. And I know
work for it.
It's not that easy. I want you to have what you want too, but you got to do the thing to get it. I can't do it for you.
I think we also get frustrated because we want that for them, not necessarily
Yes, it's not like an insult, but it's like, so do something about it. Take your hands out of your back pockets. Let's go.
Right. And that's a hard thing to do because what we talked about a little bit earlier was the mindset
Mm-hmm.
and how people get in their own ways, right?
Yeah.
And it stops them from doing what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest thing that stops people is just their mindset. Just
do it.
The action of doing it.
Okay, so what I would say for advice is start small, really small. Mm-hmm. Bake a loaf of bread. See if you can make it an entire week or an entire month on bread that you've made. That's pretty much where I started. I also started with, I bought a little water canner at Walmart for $11. It was on sale. And I
remember that day.
Yes. I was like, look what I found. $11. And I went and bought a case of the pint jars, the small ones. And I filled them with tomatoes from my father-in-law. He gave me a bunch of tomatoes, and I talked to her about it first because she, I think, had done tomatoes before. And then I found a recipe that I was comfortable using, and it was just tomatoes and salt and lemon juice. Super easy. And it was my very first time canning, and I canned, probably 60 pounds of tomatoes that summer and made bread. And then we went over a year without having to buy a loaf of bread.
And how intimidating was it to camp?
It was so intimidating. It was so scary. But once I did it, I'm like, what the heck was holding me back? And I think it was
what ifs.
Yes. And I was like, I really think it would have been nice. And obviously she was kind of starting her stuff at the same time. So like we were kind of learning together, but she's always like one step ahead,
It's either you or me.
I feel like it's like, back and forth.
Okay, last question. Ready for your last question?
Yes, I'm ready for my last question.
Legacy do you hope your homestead leaves behind?
Prosperity of healthy food.
That was good. You had no hesitation for that.
Yeah, I thought about that. I want my family and other families to have something good to eat because most of the food on the shelves is not food anymore. So even if it's half a pig in their freezer or some apples off of a future tree we'll have, I want to provide that.
Even without all the food, what other legacy do you hope to leave?
Knowledge as well. It's not, it's not as much about money for me.
No.
Because money is great to pass down to your children.
Money is just a tool to be able to do things.
Yeah, so I would much rather pass down information on how to survive outside of the modern day food system. If you look into it, do as you will. I recommend looking into it.
But just be mindful. The gateway being an example.
Yes.
And leading the way and doing what's just creating that pathway for your kids and your grandkids.
Yes. I want it to be a place where people also want to come and be. Just exist.
An open door.
Yes, I want, and like I said, for a long time, I didn't want anybody coming over. I didn't want anybody, even at our house before this, I had a hard time with people coming over and just being there. But now
you're hosting parties.
Now more than ever, I want people to just come and be safe and okay.
And it is a good environment in your house.
I hope so.
It is. And I'm not just saying that. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I will come over.
I enjoy having children over now, whereas before it really stresses me out.
They like to scream and run around now.
Yes. So it's like, go outside.
It's so worth it. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and your thoughts and more about yourself and just being open to not only me, but to everyone that's listening. I'm super grateful that was an honor to be the one that interviewed you.
You're so cute.
But I think that we're going to wrap it up and just call it an episode.
Yes.
But we hope that you guys come back and we will do more a little bit closer together in podcast episodes.
Yeah,
but
we want to try every 2 weeks.
Yes.
But keep in mind we are both moms.
Right. So bear with us at that time too.
So if we miss one, it might be a week late and then our schedule might be pushed back or something.
Yeah. But we'll still be here.
Yes.
We want you guys to for whatever questions you guys have for us or podcasts you guys want to hear, we'd love to hear your comments or suggestions or ideas. We already have a lot of listed that we want to do, but if there's something that you guys want to hear from us particularly, please reach out, comment somewhere in whatever platform.
In Spotify, you can comment. We'll have our comments turned on, and then we'll post it on YouTube as well, and you can always comment on it. So.
And I think we do clip it on Instagram.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, so just comment, and we'll hear you. We'll look out for you, and we'll do our best to make sure that happens. You guys have a wonderful day, and
thanks for listening.
Stay awesome. Stay great. God bless.
Bye. Thanks for spending a little time with us here at Homestead Mamas. We hope you found encouragement, laughter, and maybe a spark of inspiration for your own homestead journey. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you loved today's chat, leave a review and share it with your fellow mamas. Until next time, keep your hands dirty, your hearts full, and your home growing.